Hello and welcome to the Browns post-game show. The Browns with another victory. How about that? 10 wins in this crazy 2020 pandemic season. The Brownies take care of a very pitiful Giants team led by former Browns quarterback Colt McCoy filling in for the injured Danny Dimes and Freddie Kitchens calling plays and Joe Judge or Joe Dirt or whoever the hell the head coach is of the Giants making some stupid decisions. Browns do what they should do against a crappy team. They beat them. Good road win, 20-6, and it was a must-win for the Browns over the Giants. And we're going to get to that coming up here in a little bit, why it was a must-win. But before we do that, thinking back on this game today, I picked the Browns to win. I think it was 28-17. I picked them to win before the game. I just didn't think the Giants had enough offense to match the Browns' offense, even though the Browns' defense isn't great. With Colt McCoy as your quarterback, Saquon Barkley out, Jason Garrett not calling plays, Freddie Kitchens was. I didn't think there was – the only way the Browns would have lost this game is if they would have beaten themselves, and that would have been with fumbles and interceptions and penalties and just stupid mistakes like that. So when the Giants went right down the field and looked like they were going to kick a field goal, then they ran that stupid fake field goal play or whatever, and they failed on that right then and there. To me, ball game. If the Giants were going to have any chance, they would have had to score a touchdown there or at least get a field goal and make the Browns play from behind. When that didn't happen, they got inside the red zone 3 times and came away with 3 points. The Browns defense, little bend, don't break. Good to have Denzel Ward back today. He made an impact on the outside. Carl Joseph played well for the Browns on defense today. Myles Garrett, you could tell he's not back to 100% from the COVID and everything like that. Still trying to get his game back. He did have a sack late in the game, which was great, or a half sack I think he got credited for there. But the defense did what they should do against a bad team, and Baker Mayfield was on fire. Let's put his numbers up here so everybody can see what he finished with on the night. Look at Baker Mayfield tonight. Only 5 incompletions, 27 of 32, 297, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Outstanding game by Baker Mayfield. You could see he was confident. He was comfortable in the pocket. He was not at all worried with the pressure because the offensive line did a fantastic job giving him plenty of time to throw the football. You heard Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico talking about how he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league in the pocket when there is pressure and he feels it. But when he doesn't have pressure, his numbers are fantastic like they were tonight. So kudos to that offensive line, and they were without Wyatt Teller, who's out with an injury, and then Chris Hubbard on the first or second play goes down with an injury, and so Nick Harris, the rookie, comes in and does a nice job. Jedrick Wills, the rookie on the left tackle side of that offensive line, did a nice job. So kudos, tip of the cap, Buckeye cap. I got my Buckeye gear on today. Here, check it out. Pretty sweet shirt. Look at that. Ohio State football. We'll talk about them a little bit later on for a little bit, but most of this is Browns because it's the Browns postgame show. But the Brownies get the win. The offensive line was outstanding in their pass blocking. You saw the Giants committed to stopping the run, which I think opened up the pass game. Kevin Stefanski, outstanding with his play calling. Once again, 2 95-yard drives by the Browns. 2 95-yard drives. Nobody else has done that this year. Not the Chiefs. Not the Packers, not the who else you want to throw in there? Not the Cardinals, not the Steelers, not the Ravens. Nobody. 2 95-yard drives, chewed up time off the clock. One of them was like 8:05 in time of possession, 14 plays, 8 runs, 8 passes, 6 runs, something like that. Good balance today. Play calling very good. Getting everybody involved. I think 7 different guys caught balls in the first half. Austin Hooper with a touchdown today. Jarvis Landry with a touchdown grab today. And who else scored for? Oh, Nick Chubb had the 6-yard touchdown run, or the 1-yard touchdown. He had a 6-yard touchdown run. That was wiped out. Then he came back and scored on the ground. He finished with, 50 yards, I think, today. Chubb did. So not a great game for him, but enough. And the bottom line is you just want to get the win. And with everything else that happened today with the teams that the Browns are battling for those playoff spots for, this was a must win. And let's go there since I brought it up. The Browns needed to win tonight. Here's why. The teams they were battling with today all won. Ravens beat the Jags 40-14. Titans beat the Lions 46-25. Colts beat the Texans 27-20, and the Dolphins beat the Patriots 22-12. So the Browns now 10-4 on the year. Well, so are the Titans, so are the Colts. And then you have the Ravens and Dolphins right behind them at 9-5. And if the Browns end up tied with the Ravens, they lose the head-to-head tiebreaker because the Ravens beat them twice. So this was a must-win for the Browns today to stay a game ahead of the Ravens, and they own the tiebreaker with the Colts and the Titans. So as we speak tonight, what time is this? 11:25 p.m. on December 20th. As of tonight, the Browns are the number 5 seed in the AFC. Okay, that's the top wild card spot. They elevate above the Titans or Colts, whoever doesn't win that division, because they beat both of those teams this year, right? So there you go. Good win tonight. Must win tonight. Went out, got it done. I will say this. JT was texting, and he's not joining us. So nobody wants to join me tonight. You want to know why? It's a boring game. Oh, boy. It was. I mean, it was fast. Thank goodness it was fast. But you know what? You'll take a boring win over an exciting, long loss, right? Take it. 10-4. Browns are 10-4 with 2 games to go. They could possibly win 12 games this year. Who'd have thunk that just a couple of years ago? They were 0-16. So kudos to the Browns for getting the job done on the road. Could have taken this team lightly. Look at the Rams. The Rams lost to the Jets today. How about that? The Jets are no longer winless, which is stupid because I don't know if you saw Trevor Lawrence play this weekend. That's the guy you want compared to Justin Fields, who's struggling right now with the Buckeyes. And like I said, we'll get to that later. But the Jets now possibly lose out on the first overall pick in the draft in Trevor Lawrence. But the Rams losing at home to the Jets. How do you do that? They're winless. You take them lightly. Kudos to Kevin Stefanski, making sure his team was focused, coming off the loss to the Ravens on a short week. Probably, you know what, in a crazy way, had they beaten the Ravens, they might have been full of themselves today, and maybe you have a different outcome tonight. But the fact that they lost that game to the Ravens last week, you flip the switch, forget about it, angry. No, now you got to stay 1 game ahead of the Ravens. You go out, you take care of business tonight. And that's what I liked from the Browns. Very business-like approach tonight. Boring win, but as Kevin Stefanski will tell you, there are no such things as ugly wins or boring wins. Any win is beautiful. And at really the only miscue tonight was Jarvis Landry, and he tends to, lose his cool every once in a while. He scores the touchdown, and he's yapping and gets penalized. They take the penalty on the extra point, and then Cody Parkey, doink, right off the upright and misses. Therefore, instead of 21-6 final, it's 20-6 final. Let's see here. What did I write down as things that stood out to me in this game? Stupid fake field goal by the Giants on the first drive. So thank you, Freddie Kitchens or Joe Dirt or whoever called that fake field goal. Browns defense, solid, bend, but didn't break tonight. Didn't give up a touchdown. Got inside the red zone 3 times, did the Giants. Browns held their ground. Sheldon Richardson played well before he left for an injury. Who else played well? Carl Joseph played well. Denzel Ward played well. I thought the guys up front as a unit played well. Denzel Ward makes a huge difference in that secondary. The only other bad news, like we said, with Richardson going down and Hubbard going down. So those 2 injuries, at least, hopefully that's all they lost. Not sure. Didn't hear any post-game comments from Kevin Stefanski or anything like that. But hopefully Hubbard and Richardson aren't serious with those injuries. It's Carl Joseph. Like I said, he played well. He made 2 big plays on defense in the first half. Nice to see that from Joseph. Baker Mayfield on fire all game long. Only 5 incompletions the entire game. And how about Hollywood Higgins coming up with some nice big catches tonight? And you see the numbers there for Mayfield as well as Hollywood Higgins on the night. So Hooper, very important cogs in that offense. And like I said, spreading it around tonight. Let's see here. I want to see how many guys ended up catching passes. for the Browns tonight. Let's check out the box score. We look at the box score for the Brownies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different guys caught passes today. And Njoku, 1 for 22. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 3 catches, 55 yards. So 27 completions to 8 different receivers. Like that. Browns ran for 106, threw for 297. Baker was over 300, but his one completion to Kareem Hunt lost yards. That brought him back under 300. So he doesn't get the 300-yard passing game, but who cares? And he took care of the football today. And how about the scrambling? What did he finish up with rushing today? 4 carries, 11 yards. Baker Mayfield showing some wheels tonight, valuing the football, accurate tonight, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles. That's the key with this team. He's got to value the football, take care of the football, and he's doing a nice job with that. So a good win for the Browns. Again, not exciting, not thrilling. But you know what? As we get our first comment up here from Matt Turry, drama-free game. Liked it. Yeah, it was boring, wasn't it, Matt? Matt, it was a boring win, but you'll take that boring win, 10 times out of 10 compared to what the Browns have done. I mean, they've had some exciting games in the past, but they end up losing those games, and you're talking about it, but then again, it's a loss. It goes in the L column. This one, very boring. Very businesslike, like you said, drama-free for the most part, and you take the W, and you move on to the next game, and the next game is against the New York Jets. The Browns will win next week. I'm telling you right. Forget that the Jets won their game. That's it. They don't want to win anymore. They can't afford to win anymore. They already screwed it up by winning tonight earlier today against the Rams. So they don't want any more wins. So the Browns are going to go in there with the same approach and take care of business. So you got to like it. It's going to be a Victory Monday on the Kenny and JT show tomorrow, and that'll be the 10th time we've had a Victory Monday or Tuesday or whatever it is for the Browns. So you've got to be thrilled if you're a Browns fan. Here's what's left for the Brownies. Oh, my bad. Wrong one. Let's throw the other banner up here. Remaining games, 10-4 Browns. They play the Jets next week, and then they close out against the Steelers. So there you go. 2 winnable games. Steelers are not playing well right now. They play tomorrow night, the Monday night game. If the Steelers win tomorrow night, they win the division. But still, not a done deal. Steelers are not playing well right now. And after the Bengals tomorrow night in Cincy, they have the Colts at home, and the Colts, they're in a battle for their playoff lives as a division champion / wild card, challenger. So that's a tough game for the Steelers. And then the Browns. So I think the Steelers will find a way to win. The Bengals stink. And then the last 2 games may not mean much to the Steelers because the Chiefs beat the Saints again tonight. And so the Chiefs own the tiebreaker if they end up tied with the Steelers as of right now. So it could be a very exciting end of the season for the Browns, finishing potentially at 12-4. No worse, I think, than 11-6. No, 11-5, right? 10-6. So yeah, so it'd be 11-5 or 12-4. That's what they're going to win one of the last 2 for sure, maybe both. We'll see. So let's see what questions or comments we have coming in via Facebook and on Twitter. I didn't expect many questions or people to be up with us tonight with comments or anything like that because, well, it's a late game. And number 2, like we said, it wasn't not really a lot to talk about. I mean, yeah, it's a win. You should be excited about that. So let's see if we have any comments here. We do. I'm not getting them for whatever reason. I'm not getting my comments here. I got to talk to the powers that be here to figure out what the heck's going on with my comments. So here, let's give some shout outs. Craig Easterday, Mark Chalmers are watching tonight. So you're up late talking about a Browns victory. Appreciate that. Scotty Merck's Ticket Agency in the house. 216-433-0055. You need tickets to anything. That's the guy to call, Scotty Merck. Happy that the Brownies won. Billy Blindstone, Money Mitchell, he says, was solid tonight. He liked what he saw out of Money Mitchell. You know why he was solid? Because Denzel Ward's on the other side, the domino effect. It makes everybody on that defense better, especially in that secondary. Let's see, Craig Easterday. Very solid win. Offense was very efficient. Baker and the offensive line took over the game. Defense was effective. They didn't get pressure on McCoy, but they stuffed the run and limited the passing game for the Giants. Debbie says hi. Hi, Deb. Buckeyes have a major task ahead of them against Clemson. Go Browns and go Bucks. Yeah. Buckeyes, they've never beaten Clemson. They're 0-4 lifetime. Woody Hayes punched the dude the first time they lost to Clemson, and then last year the Buckeyes should have beat them, but they didn't. So we'll talk about that a little later before we sign off here. Mark Chalmers, DPJ had a few nice grabs. Yes, he did. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 6th-round pick out of Michigan. Nice game today at wide receiver for DPJ. Let's see here. Jim Cater is checking us out tonight here. No D, no J for New York Football Giants. Amen owns. It's in reference to one of my favorite players of all time, Damon Jones. Let's see here. Philip Mead. Baker is gaining more confidence each week. Yes, he is. You saw it tonight, man. He was strutting, skipping, zinging the ball, had some serious RPMs on that. And when the offensive line is giving him time like that, my goodness gracious. I mean, he's starting to come into his own, get more confident about himself, and more importantly, maybe this offense from Kevin Stefanski. They're on the same page. Stefanski's calling a great game. I'm going to go here. Kevin Stefanski is doing what a head coach or an offensive coordinator is supposed to do. That's put his players, his team, in the best position to win. I didn't think Ryan Day in the first half and even into the third quarter on Saturday for the Buckeyes against Northwestern in the Big Ten title game did that. I'm screaming for them to run the ball with Trey Sermon. Master Teague, before he went down with an injury, had 2 nice runs. Sermon was running well, and it's like, why are you throwing the damn ball? So tonight, flip the script and come to tonight's game with the Browns. Browns weren't running it well. So I don't know if the game plan was from the get-go to just throw, and mix in the run. But tonight, they did what the defense was giving them, and that was throw the football. Protection was there. Make the play. So Kevin Stefanski did a fabulous job of putting his team, his players, Baker Mayfield, in the best position to win tonight. Ryan Day, now give Day some credit. Midway through the third quarter or whatever it was, finally decided to hand the ball to Trey Sermon, who ran for a Buckeye record 331 yards yesterday. He could have had 500 if they would have featured him in the first half. We'll get to that a little later on. All right, some other comments here. David Johnson is watching us here tonight on the Cleveland Browns postgame show. How we doing out there, David? Let's see here. Ken Rundle, another viewer tonight, checking us out on the Browns postgame show. Billy Blystone Jr. says Nick Harris was awesome tonight. I don't know if he was awesome, but we didn't hear much about him once he came in, right? So he did his job, so maybe that is awesome for an offensive lineman. Nice draft pick there. He's, I believe, the backup center, but played guard tonight because Teller was out, and then Hubbard, who replaced Teller, got hurt. And so Harris steps in, and, they don't miss a beat. Tom Cassidy is watching us tonight here on the Browns postgame show. Glad you're up late with us, Tom. Appreciate that. Merry Christmas, he says. Back at you. Happy New Year. Have a good one. Scotty Merck sending me all kind of emojis, football emojis, trophies, 100% signals. David Johnson. Oh, let's, David, I'm going to answer your question after I put this one up on the screen. What are your thoughts on Parkey from Devin Kohler? And David Johnson, do we need a kicking game, asks pretty much the same question. So David and Devin. Yeah, I'm concerned about Parkey. If it's a close game, right, in the playoffs, do I have confidence in him for an extra point or a field goal? If we're talking about anything over 30 yards, I'm concerned about Cody Parkey. I am. But what are you going to do, right? who's out there that's better than Cody Parkey? And if you bring somebody in, then you're working with a new kicker with the holder and the snapper, and you're trying to get a new unit all together on the same page. At this point, unfortunately, unless he gets hurt, I think that's the only way they dispose of him or cut him. Dispose of him. Like they're a fixer. They're going to dispose of him and make him disappear. It's like Liam Neeson, right? I have a specific set of skills. I won't go into it. Anyways, so I think you're stuck with Cody Parkey as your kicker. All right. What else we got here from some of the people up late with us tonight? Truly impressive win after an emotional, physical game on Monday night. Buckeye 063. I agree, man. I agree. That was a hard-fought, physical game last week. Tough loss. The short week hurts you physically, but maybe helps you mentally because you got to get right back at it and you play sooner. And I thought the Browns handled it very well tonight. So, yes, an impressive win from that standpoint. Here's Adam Cerny. Browns need to bring back Phil Dawson. Adam, he might be the only one. You can go out and get Phil. I think, you know what? That's a good point. I'd take Phil Dawson right now over Cody Parkey. And I don't even know the last time Phil Dawson kicked an extra point or a field goal. He'd be the one guy I'd go out and get. You know he's available. He'd kick in that stadium. Let's see here. What else? John, how do you pronounce your last name, John? Grgincic. Granisic? Is that close, John? I hope that's close. John Granisic. Let me know if I said it right, John. He's watching us tonight. He says, dog check tonight. The dogs got it done. Jim Cater, Kitchens called a good game. I guess he doesn't like points. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that, right? If you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter. If you don't want to jump out of the plane with us and wear your parachute with the train coming down the tracks and whatever the hell else he was saying. Oh, gosh. Freddie. Oh, thank goodness Kevin Stefanski's in charge, right? I mean, that, to me, one of the biggest stories with this team, besides being 10-4, is they got themselves a head coach. This guy's in charge. He went for it. I like the aggressiveness early in the game. Went for it on fourth down. Baker had it batted down. 1 of 5 passes he didn't complete tonight. But he's got a game plan. He is going to stick to that game plan unless it's not working, and he'll make adjustments. He's keeping these guys together. Pandemic season, first year ever as a head coach. Kevin Stefanski, a breath of fresh air compared to Freddie Kitchens and Hugh Jackson and who else? The Eric Mangini and Romeo Crennel. I love that pizza. Remember Romeo? He loved it. What was it? Romeo's? Was it Romeo's Pizza with Romeo Crennel, or was it a different pizza? But I love that pizza. So Romeo Crennel. Who's the other guy I'm forgetting? Pat Sajak. Not Pat Sajak. What the heck? He was the Browns head coach. I can't even think of his name now. He's the Browns head coach. Then he was the Giants head coach, and now I think he's an offensive coordinator some year. I'm having a total meltdown, a brain meltdown. I can't think of his name. It's not, I want to say Pat Sajak. It's not Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune. He might have done a better job than the what the hell is that? Pat Shermer. Thank you, Adam Cerny. My goodness, I couldn't think of his damn name. This is water. It's not vodka. Okay, I promise. It's just water. See, it's water. But yeah, so thank God for Kevin Stefanski, right? And how about wearing 2 hats as the head coach and the OC? Pat Shermer failed. Hugh Jackson failed. Freddie Kitchens failed doing that. Kevin Stefanski seems to be handling it very, very well. All right, let's get a couple more of these up here. Connie Bednarsik, who checks in with us after every Browns and Buckeyes game. Thank you, Connie. A win is a win. Can't wait for the playoffs. Listened on WHBC. There you go. Kenny and JT show Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. on News Talk 1480 WHBC. And you can listen online, WHBC.com. Ask your smart device at home or wherever you're at to play WHBC. It will. So no reason, no excuse for not listening to the Kenny and JT show. And Connie turns down the TV sound and listens to the game on the radio on WHBC. Yes, a win is a win, Connie. This late in the season, you'll take them without question. another regular to the show, Nathaniel Maiku. Good job, Cleveland. Brownies get the win, improved to 10-4. What do we have here? Do the Browns simply pick up Baker's rookie extension or look to work a long-term deal? Buckeye 063. Pick up the fifth-year option. Go from there. That guarantees him in that fifth year somewhere between $20 and $25 million. Then you see if he can carry it over into next year. I mean, you feel good about Baker right now. If you're Andrew Berry, if you're Kevin Stefanski, Browns fans, you should feel good about Baker. He's playing excellent football. But I don't think they're ready to commit, the 7 years, 100 and what would it be, $200 million or whatever. And no, he's in his third year. He's got his fourth year on his contract left. The fifth year not guaranteed. If you pick that up, it gets him 20 to 25 million. Then you go with the contract after that. So just pick up his fifth year option and make him play through next year. And maybe if he's playing this well next year, okay, this continues next year, then at some point next year, you extend or work in a big deal. All right, let's get some more questions in here from Facebook. Let's see here. Kicker is playing like come on, John. I'm not going to say that. That's for the trick bag punks. When we did bump and run, the old Red Guy and Road bump and run on WKNR. What else do we have here? Craig Easterday. Hopefully we won't have any penalties to make the extra point 48 yards again. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Keep your mouth shut, Jarvis. Come on, you're better than that. You scored a touchdown. Let that guy mouth off to you all you want. Just point to the damn scoreboard. Let's see here. Close, Kenny, on my last name pronouncement. Whatever it is. Sorry, I'm just going to call you from now on John G. Can I just call you? How about John G or JG? You tell me what you like better, John G or JG, and we'll reference you that way from now on. Bill Blindstone says, yeah, Pat Shermer, not Pat Sajak. Thank you. Mark Chalmers checking in with us. Got to give a huge shout out to the job Bill Callahan has done with the offensive line. Amen to that. Hallelujah. We talked about it in the offseason. One of the best acquisitions they made this offseason was bringing in a former NFL head coach who is considered the best offensive line coach in the NFL, Bill Callahan. Let's hope he stays here, right? You want to keep this coaching staff together, this unit together, continuity, stability. This, with some of the jobs opening up at the end of the year, he might be up for one of those jobs. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, huge shout out, pat on the back, tip of the cap, whatever it is, to Bill Callahan for the job he has done with Jedrick Wills at left tackle, bringing all these new guys together. Conklin at right tackle, Wills at left tackle, Wyatt Teller. So absolutely, Troy Garrett is watching us tonight here on the Cleveland Browns postgame show. Jim Cater says, if you can't get Phil Dawson, dig up Lou the Toe Groza. Come on now. I know it's late, but he'd probably be better than Cody Parkey. So there are those. Now, where else do I want to go? I want to go to Twitter. I don't want to ignore the Twitches out there on Twitter. I've got like 3 different devices that I'm working with here. So bear with me, because for whatever reason, my virtual studio is not letting me get all of my comments here. Let's see. Freddie is contagious with stupidity. Good to be alive. For love of sex is the actual Twitter handle. For love of sex. Freddie is contagious with stupidity. Thank goodness he's not here. That's all. Good guy, fun guy. Guess he and Baker are still boys and everything like that, and we were all guilty, right? Baker wanted him. It looked like a decent hire because of the way the offense moved. Last time we're going to talk about Freddie Kitchens. That's it. I'm done on this show. I'll probably mention him tomorrow on the Kenny and JT show, but then that'll be it, because he doesn't matter anymore, okay? Kevin Stefanski does. That's the main thing. Let's see here. Another question. Do you think red wine should start over Sendejo after tonight's performance? I kind of cleaned that up for you, Devin. Yes. Been saying that all year. Anybody but Sendejo. I hope he's recovering from his concussion. You don't want anybody to be hurt. You know, concussions. I had one not too long ago. Those things linger. They're not fun. So I want Sendejo to get healthy. He'd be a nice backup and special teams guy. So yes, let Redwine play. Let Joseph play. Anybody, start anybody but Sendejo. All right? What do we have here? D. Podesta and Barry drafting better than John. Draft real football players, Dorsey. I liked John Dorsey. Okay, John Dorsey, and I don't have all of his picks, in front of me to look at and grade that versus them and all. John Dorsey is a good football guy. He is. And he drafted Baker Mayfield. What's the most important position in all of sports? All of sport. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, gymnastics, table tennis, chess, it doesn't matter. Most important position in all of sports is what? Quarterback. Does it look like the Browns have their quarterback of the future? His rookie year, we said yes. Last year, we said no. Now we're starting to lean towards yes again. So give John Dorsey credit for making that selection when a lot of people, including myself, didn't think Baker Mayfield was worthy of the first overall pick. Is he going to be Patty Mahomes? Is he going to be Drew Brees? Patty Mahomes, no, it's not his style. Drew Brees, that's who you hope he ends up being like, right? If he can have half the career that Drew Brees has had, even though they lost today, right? He's 41, he's still playing. If Baker has half that career, you're winning some playoff games. You're in a Super Bowl more than likely, maybe even win one. So you'll take that. So I'm not going to, dog John Dorsey. Was he perfect? No. Did he have some bad moves and picks and he's, signed Freddie as the head coach? Yes. But no GM's perfect, but he also had some good moves and some decent picks and trade. Brought Jarvis Landry in, I believe. Go back a little. I think he did. Anyways, so there. What else do we have here via Twitter? A lot of people agreed with me that Joe Dirt's challenge on that onside kick was one of the dumbest challenges in the history of the NFL. There were no camera angles. What did you think? Somebody had a belt cam that was in the middle of the scrum there? Somebody had a shoe cam that was kicking at the ball? Who told you to challenge that? You know what, Joe Dirt? Whoever told you to challenge that play, whoever you hired as your replay challenge guy, gal, whoever it is, fired. See ya. Should be gone. And you should be gone for listening to him. So a lot of people thought, that was pretty stupid. What else do we have here? Kim Stewart Kaminsky. Hey, Kim is checking us out tonight here on the Browns post-game show. Hope all's well with the family. Say hi to everybody. Brian Pike is watching us on the Browns post-game show. All right, so here's where we stand. Browns win tonight, 20-6. Defense, weather wasn't the reason why they played well tonight. Maybe it was Freddie Kitchens calling play. I said I wasn't going to mention his name. Couldn't help myself. Maybe it was Freddie Kitchens calling plays. Colt McCoy at quarterback. Glad to see Colt recovered from his broken leg last year, and he's back playing, but it's Colt McCoy. I mean, Browns fans know. So maybe that was it. Bottom line is defense made plays tonight. Kept them out of the end zone. On the road, got the win, right? So you got to feel better about the defense. Offense, clicking, right? Baker Mayfield, clicking on all cylinders, man. 5 incompletions tonight. There was a rhythm to it. I like the play calling. Kevin Stefanski, Baker on the same page. It's good. They're going to beat the Jets next week, 28-10. There's my early prediction. 28-10, they win at New York against the Jets, or in New Jersey against the Jets next week. All right? And let's give you the numbers one more time tonight for all the players, the key players in this game tonight, across the bottom there. So defense, maybe getting better, healthier with Denzel Ward there. Sheldon Richardson could be a big loss. Let's hope it's nothing serious with that injury. Special teams, they get nothing in the return game. The coverage isn't bad, although, no, I take that back. Opening kickoff, hold on. Let me go through my notes here. Opening kickoff return of 48 yards. That wasn't good. That set up that first drive that ended in that fake field goal that the Giants failed on. So special teams needs to get better. Cody Parkey, huge question. That may be the biggest question mark right now, right? Cody Parkey on the team. Fair statement. So special teams has to get better. Offense is clicking, right? And defense is getting better. And the Browns are 10-4, and they're in the playoff hunt. And they control their own destiny. Browns control their own destiny from two standpoints. If they win out and finish 12-4, okay, the Steelers right now are 11-2. So is there a chance the Browns could still win the division? Yes. Here's how. Steelers lose tomorrow night at Cincinnati, 11-3. Lose the following week against the Colts, 11-4. And then the Browns beat them in week 17. That makes the Steelers 11-5. And if the Browns win out, they're 12-4 and they win the division. So depending on what happens tomorrow night with the Steelers, if the Steelers win, they win the division. And that's not a possibility, okay? But if the Steelers lose tomorrow night, the Browns could possibly still win the division. If not, worst case scenario, they win out. They control the top wild card spot. They're the 5th seed. The 1 seed gets a bye. So then it would go 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. So the Browns, if they went out, worst case scenario, they are the 5th seed. Now, there is a way, okay, if the Browns are in a 3-way tie with, where is it here? 3-way tie that involves the Dolphins, Colts, Titans, or Ravens. Any of those. In a 3-way tie, I watched the pregame show tonight before the Browns-Giants game, and they said the Browns do not have the tiebreakers there, okay? So you don't want the Browns ending up in a 3-way tie. They could get bumped from the playoffs because of this crazy whatever the tiebreaker is. And I got to read up on that for tomorrow's show on the Kenny and JT show. Now, if it's a head-to-head tie with the Ravens, they lose. If it's a head-to-head tie with the Titans, they win. If it's a head-to-head tie with the Colts, they win. The Browns, they being the Browns. So you lose the tiebreaker to Baltimore, you win it with Tennessee and Indy head-to-head. But if it's a 3-way tie, for whatever reason, the Browns come out on the short end. So win out, and you don't have to worry about any of that. Right? Win out, and you're good. 10-4, you win the next 2, you're 12-4. You're in the playoffs for the first time since 2002, 17 years, right? And you're the 5th seed. Possibly a division winner, depending if the Steelers lose the last 3 games. So there you go. All right, that's going to do it. What time is it here? It's almost midnight. We're going to call it a night. We did this yesterday. Oh, real quick, the Buckeyes. Before we go. Congratulations to the Buckeyes. 4th straight Big Ten championship. They beat Northwestern yesterday. It wasn't pretty. Ryan Day kept Northwestern in the game because me personally, I think he was trying to help Justin Fields put up some numbers and some stats to at least get invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. And by doing so, he almost cost his team the game. And then when he realized, oh, shoot, this is closer than it should be, he handed the ball to Trey Sermon and he ran for an Ohio State record 331 yards. So not the greatest of performances, but it was a win yesterday by the Buckeyes. It was enough to get them in the college football playoff. If you didn't watch the show, here's the way it went. Alabama's your 1 seed. Clemson's your 2 seed. Ohio State's your 3 seed. Notre Dame's your 4 seed. So that means Bama 1 versus 4 Notre Dame. They will play in the Rose Bowl, which got moved from Pasadena because of COVID issues to Arlington, Texas. So January 1st, Rose Bowl, Alabama against Notre Dame. That's your 4 o'clock start. Buckeyes, Clemson 2 versus 3. Clemson 2, Buckeyes 3. That is January 1st as well. It will be at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, 8 o'clock kickoff for that. And you'll hear that one on WHBC. Buckeyes last year, of course, lost to Clemson in the semifinals, 29-23. They've never beaten Clemson, so it's going to be a tough task, but they're in. Anything can happen, and let's just hope they stay COVID-free the rest of the way. And the other thing to keep in mind is the Big Ten announced today they've adjusted their COVID protocols. Remember, it was 21 days. Now it's 17, which should help some of the Buckeye players be eligible to play in that semifinal. We'll get into all that Buckeye stuff tomorrow on the Kenny and JT show between 3 and 7 on WHBC. All right, that's it. Brownies a winner tonight. And 4 on the year. control their own destiny with the playoffs. It's a good night, a victory Monday tomorrow. Buckeyes won this weekend, so the daily double or the weekend double as far as victories. We'll talk more about it on the Kenny and JT show, but do me one other favor, folks, besides tuning in tomorrow on the Kenny and JT show and joining us back here next Sunday after they beat the Jets. Wash your damn hands, wear your damn mask, social distance, okay? Please, let's do what we have to. The hospitals are filling up, and just think of others. It's not that big of a deal, okay? Let's keep everybody healthy, and let's get over this COVID thing or get through this winter now that the vaccine is out. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm rambling. Let's see. Any other shout out? No, let me just check one last thing. I don't want to. I feel bad like when I sign off if I don't give a shout out to somebody out there. Let's see. Rich Ranella. Rich, hope the store is doing well. Mr. Memorabilia, thanks for tuning in tonight. So there you go. Got my last shout out in. That's it. We're done. Have a great night, everybody.